Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, Des Moines, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with 4 locations to help you out, and these locations are going to be quite popular, I think, over the next few days, especially. The original location in Lincoln is just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road in South Lincoln. In Omaha, 168th and Burke, across the street from the Village Point Mall. Papillion, 84th and Highway 370 in the Midlands Place Shopping Center. And, of course, Des Moines, 9500 University Avenue in West Des Moines, Iowa. Now, why am I giving you all these locations? Well, that's good business. You know, you got to tell people where you're at. But, you know, you could just Google it, I suppose, too. Although I found out the other day that if you use Apple devices and you look for our location on Apple Maps, it said in Lincoln especially that we were permanently closed. So we're working on getting that resolved. Apparently, you have to go through a bunch of validation steps with Apple to tell them that you're not permanently closed. I'm not dead yet. You know, you have to let them know somehow that you're not dead yet, and you know, calling them and telling them I'm not dead yet isn't really enough. And so we're working on getting that corrected right now. But rest assured, we're not dead yet. And that we may wish we were dead after the end of the week, though. This week is going to be one of the busiest weeks in the last decade of computer history. No matter what device you have, there is something you need to be preparing for. No matter it's insane. So first of all, to let everybody know, the big thing, if you've been under a rock, if you haven't heard the show, the statistics show actually that if you do know that Windows 11 is coming out in 2 days, you are in the minority of people. There's a, let me go grab this story here. Most users don't even know that Windows 11 is a thing, that it's happening. And we're going to have to talk to some of our morning show people, get on some morning shows tomorrow and let everybody know that this is like a real thing, because 38% of Windows users know that Windows 11 is a thing. And the rest of them are just living their human lives and doing their human things, and they don't really think about their computers, right? And that's totally normal. That's why we exist, right? So you don't think about your car when you wake up in the morning. You just turn the key and you expect it to go, or you push the button, you expect it to go. You don't think about these things. You get your computer and you turn it on, and all of a sudden there's a giant nag window telling you that you need to do something, and you're like, man, I don't want to do that. Well, here's the thing. Windows 11 is coming out on October 5th. All right, so that's 2 days from the air date of this program, October 5th. Now, when Windows 11 comes out, you are going to be getting these, we're going to call them nag windows for forever, basically. But they're going to start nagging you. First, it'll be really polite. If history is any indication, the nag windows are going to get more and more, let's call it persuasive, in their attempts to get you to move to Windows 11. There's a lot of different reasons for that, which we will get into on the program. But let's say, for whatever reason, you are not going to Windows 11. Let's say that your computer will not run Windows 11. Let's say that your computer, that you're fine on Windows 10. You're going to ride Windows 10 until a sunset at 2025, and then you'll worry about what you're going to do after that. Totally legitimate positions to have. Well, then you need to be preparing for the big upgrade that's coming at the end of the month for Windows 10, which is 2.1H2. 8.2.1, 2021, H2 is half 2. This is the fall upgrade for Windows 10. If you've been around the block a few times, you know the spring upgrades are all about planting seeds, and the fall upgrades are all about the harvest. So the fall ones are the big ones. They're the ones that really change how your computer works, that make a big difference in your computing lives as far as Windows 10 goes. So we're trying to figure out exactly what our customers are going to do. Because we are going to have specials for Windows 11. We obviously have safe upgrade for Windows 10. So the first thought we had is, you know, we're going to put 500 copies of safe upgrade available. And customers that purchase safe upgrade are probably not going to Windows 11 because they're worried about upgrading their Windows 10 at the end of October, but Windows 11 comes out on the 5th. So if you're going to Windows 11, you obviously don't need safe upgrade for Windows 10. We put up 500, which is the normal number we put up for sale. We have 174 left, and that's after 1 week. I didn't even put the Facebook post up yet. Literally, they were flying off the shelves, and I'm like, okay, so does this mean we're not going to have people coming in for Windows 11. That would certainly be the indication. Au contraire, we're getting phone calls. When can I drop my computer off for Windows 11 so that I can get it back as quickly as possible? Well, I'd probably recommend you come in the day before and drop it off then on the 4th and leave it in the service center and let us tackle it right away on the 5th. We don't know exactly what time on the 5th the Windows 11 operating system is going to drop. It could be in the evening. It could be in the morning. You know, they don't tell us these details, but we know it's going to be on the 5th. We've had people dropping off computers already to make sure that they are the first people in line to get Windows 11. The last time that Microsoft did an operating system deal like this is why planning is so important for us. The last time something like this happened was Windows 10. It was the move from Windows 7 to Windows 10. We had over 1,000 computers come through the service center, and at that time we only had one service center. We had 1,000 computers come through one service center in a week. Literally, I remember this vividly because I was in the service centers up until 3 in the morning working on computers. In the old Lincoln Service Center, we had this huge front room with these concrete benches, basically where you put products for sale. And we had cleared off all the products off these benches and lined them with customer computers. So the whole back room had computers. The whole front space was customer computers. And literally, it was a 24-hour operation. But, my guys didn't want to work at night, so I would come in at night. You own the place, you do these things, and keep working on computers until the wee hours of the morning. I remember this because Taco Bell is not open in South Lincoln after 2 a.m. And I was very upset that I hadn't had dinner yet. And here I am at 3 in the morning trying to go home, and I got to get something to eat, and everything is closed. Don't these people work? What the heck? But is it going to be like that for Windows 11? So this is what we're going to try to figure out in the coming days because we don't know exactly what to expect. But what it looks like right now is that we are going to definitely have a push of people in the early days that are eager to move to Windows 11, and there's a lot of reasons they are eager to move to Windows 11. We're also going to have a large number of people who are unable to move to Windows 11 because their computers will not support it. Therefore, they are going to stay with Windows 10 because they have no choice. So those are the two camps that people are going to find themselves in, and I believe that's why we're seeing the dichotomy that we're seeing, where people are interested in safe upgrade for Windows 10, but they're also interested in the special we're going to run for Windows 11 to get your computer upgraded. All right, so last week on the program, if you missed the show, it is available on our website, www.schrockinnovations.com. You can click on the radio show tab there, and everything is there for your perusal. You can watch the shows, you can watch the aftershocks, you can do all kinds of stuff right there on the website to make sure that you don't miss a moment. Because some people, I know you have to go into church, things like that. We're going to talk about a bunch of stories we're going to cover, and then you miss them, and you're like, whatever happened with that story? You can go back and you can watch it there. Also, if you happen to be a Facebook user, we are live right now at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, where you can watch the show right now if you want to, with 38 of your closest friends that are watching right now with you on there. So I want to welcome Karen. Good to have you guys. Aaron, good to have you. Mitch, Ron, Richard, Roger, Winston, thank you for the audio check. I appreciate it. So everybody, all the Schrockville people are tuning in here on Facebook at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. After the program is over, we also do a second show called The After Schrock that is exclusive on Facebook. That show, after it airs on Facebook, is also published to Rumble and YouTube and is made available at SchrockInnovations.com. So if you are not a Facebook user, you don't miss out. You just can't watch it live. You have to watch it on Monday when we put it up on the website. But we do get them up on the website for you there. But if you missed last week we were telling you all about chip shortages, Microsoft squashing bugs in Windows 11, patches for all kinds of stuff. It was a packed show. We barely got through it. We had so many callers. We barely got to all the stories we had to get to in the hour that we had available to us. Today on the program, obviously Windows 11 is landing in 2 days. That's a big deal. Safe upgrade is happening at the same time. That is also a big deal. So there's two big things going on there. We're going to ask some questions today on the program because there's a camp of people that can upgrade to Windows 11, and they're asking, should I upgrade to Windows 11? And so we're going to answer those questions. In fact, there's 5 questions you should ask yourself before you do one of these upgrades to determine if this is something that you should really be doing. Also, Apple has big updates this week for iOS 15. It's 15.01, I believe. I shouldn't say a big update. It's a minor bug fix, especially for iPhone 13 users. Apparently, there's an issue where, Android phones have been able to be unlocked with authorized devices. So, like if you have your watch on and your watch is near your phone, they assume the phone is in your hand, and therefore you can unlock your phone without your face. You just open your phone and it unlocks magically. You can do that with your car's Bluetooth or your Bluetooth headphones. You've been able to do that for a long time on Android. Apple adopted it as well. Apple really stuck with their facial unlock, but obviously the pandemic screwed with that because you're wearing a mask. You can't unlock your phone with your face. So they had to go to the same device unlock system that Android was using. Well, it's broken with the iPhone 13, and so things weren't unlocking, requiring you to enter your passcode in if you were wearing a mask all the time. So basically, they fixed that. That was one of the big bugs that's fixed in 15.0.1. So we're going to talk about that here on the program today. Also, there is an update for BigSur, which is the operating system running your Mac that you want to make sure you get that upgrade as well. And also, because we can't have a show without some kind of nasty, virusy, blah, blah, blah. Android password stealing malware. Yes, you should pay attention to the text messages you get from people they're trying to communicate with you. No, you shouldn't click random links in text messages that unknown people send you because they're trying to infect your phone with malware. Basically if you're not expecting a link from somebody, don't click it. Even if it comes from, if Thor Schrock sends you a link to your phone and says, "Wow, check this out!" ! Can't believe that she actually did this. Link. It's probably not me. I don't randomly send links to people. I might do that to my wife once in a while. But if it's some weird link, I'll give her an explanation. Like, you can't believe this is happening in France. They're rationing power now, and they're putting price protections in place to protect consumers, which is just going to create a shortage, which is going to cause prices to go higher, requiring more price controls. It's crazy what's going on in Europe right now. And it's crazy what's going on in China right now. Do you know that the Dutch have 25,000 acres of greenhouse, and they supply Europe with all the vegetables in the winter, but they can't get any gas to heat their greenhouses? Wonder where they're going to get their vegetables. Where do we get our vegetables this winter? Should you maybe? You can't really stock up on vegetables, can you? Guess the prices are just going to go up. Rough times. Get your candied yams now, guys. See, these are the things you learn on Compute This. It's not all just computer knowledge, but today we have a lot of computer knowledge to impart, so let's get started. 888-250-2091. That's the number to join us on the program. I want to emphasize this, guys. Along the way here, this is some confusing stuff at times, and I know a lot of you are semi-confused about Windows 11 because every week we do the show, we get calls in the service center asking for clarity on things I've said on the air. And I try to be as clear as possible as one can be in a one-way conversation, but the two-way conversation helps. So if you have a question, especially about Windows 11 or safe upgrade for Windows 10, please give us a call and ask. 888-250-2091. When you call the program and ask a question, other listeners have the same question you have. And by you asking that question and giving me the opportunity to answer the question, you're helping so many people. You're helping so many people, we even throw you in the drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate that we draw for at the end of the show. So we even pay you for your time if you're lucky. It sounds awful when you say it that way. 888-250-2091. All right. So what is Windows 11 and why is it happening? Because Windows 10 is fine, right? Everything is perfect with Windows 10. Well, let's go back in time. Nobody said that about Windows 8. Everybody was like, thank God. Nobody said that about Windows Vista. That thing was a beast. But everybody said that about Windows 7. Windows 7 is fine. We don't need Windows 10. This is so stupid. Windows XP is fine. We do not need Windows 7. This is stupid. Well, here's the thing, guys. Once in a while in the service centers, we get asked to work on Windows XP computers. A lot of times it's transferring data, moving things from one place to another, getting things off of old computers and transferring them. Oh, I don't know my password for that computer. No, don't. It's not a problem. And customers just look at us like, what do you mean it's not a problem? That's the password for the computer. It's not a problem. I have a BIOS password on that computer that I don't remember. No, it's not a problem. What do you mean? We'll just take the hard drive out. We have a handy tool called NTFS Access that will run on it that just resets all the permissions for your files and gives us access to everything on the hard drive. And then we can transfer it. Yay, security. Yeah, that's bad. That's real bad. It shouldn't be possible. If your stuff is locked with a password, it should be locked with a password, right? No, we can get to it. That's Windows XP in a nutshell and all previous iterations of Windows. Okay, so now you're in Windows 10 and everything is super safe and secure, right? Because you're in Windows 10. You're going to have Windows 10 until 2025. You've got Sophos keeping you safe. Everything is awesome, right? I can still take the hard drive out of your computer and plug it into another computer and run NTFS Access and get all of your files, even if you have a Microsoft account protecting your computer. The same vulnerabilities are still there. Now, they're a little more difficult because you can turn on additional security features. They're just not fully supported by Windows 10. You can turn on BitLocker encryption. That would slow my roll a bit because, yeah, we can unlock the files then, but we can't open them because they're encrypted without the decryption key. But you see, BitLocker is scary because what if you lose the decryption key? Oh, no, you just lost access to all of your files. Well, guess what, though? You have a Microsoft account. Yay, your decryption key is saved in your Microsoft account. Guess what? You use the same password on your Microsoft account as your other accounts. Boo, I can get your key, and I can unlock your files, and I can run NTFS Access on them, and I can get them off your hard drive. So you see where this is going. There are security problems in Windows, specifically involving physical security of the computer, which is increasingly becoming digital security of the computer. One of the articles that I'm not going to cover on the show today was the need for people to purchase a physical hardware key for your computer now. Literally like a key to the car, that your computer won't log in unless you stick this key in a USB port. They have them for your phone too now, where you have to plug it into the charge port on your phone and you can't unlock your phone. I mean, and then they're saying these keys are things that you should have for your devices. ZDNet was saying, you're an idiot if you don't have this key. And I'm thinking, man, I'm an idiot. I don't have one of those hardware password key things. And there's a buy two in case it fails. I'm like, oh, golly, I'm not secure as I should be. So everybody can be more secure, including me. But the challenge we have is, how do we take these security protocols and make them something that everyone can easily use? That's the problem that Windows 11 solves. So we're going to take a quick break here, guys. When we come back, we're going to go through the specifics about what's different in Windows 11 than Windows 10 so that you can make an informed decision about whether or not you want to upgrade to Windows 11. Have you been thinking about going to a Mac? Well, guess what? Windows 11 has a dock at the bottom of the screen, just like a Mac. It looks a lot like a Mac. So maybe you can get a cheap knockoff Mac. We're going to tell you all about all these options coming up next on Compute This.
If you can dream it, Schrock Interactive's website developers can make it happen. Refresh your website, automate sales and marketing, and grow your business today with Schrock Interactive. External hard drives are handy. You can back up multiple computers to them or even use them to move lots of data from one computer to another. Computer users have been buying the same old external hard drives for years. While our computers have been getting faster, we still do backups that take hours or watch epic progress bars creep by to move files. Schrock wanted more for our customers, so our innovators created the fastest external hard drives on the planet. Schrock modular storage devices are up to 50% faster than Seagate or Western Digital externals and are modular in the truest sense of the word. We can create whatever size and speed of drive you need for all of your needs, and all modular storage devices come with a data restoration guarantee. If you use our drives for backing up and your computer's hard drive fails, we'll restore your backup to your repaired computer for free. Fast, simple, and flexible technology solutions from Schrock Innovations. It's what we do. Compute This Pro Tip 299. There are enough mothballed computers in U.S. homes to give one to every man, woman, and child in the country. Many of these computers find their way into landfills where they can leak cadmium, lithium, and other nasty chemicals into the groundwater. Schrock Innovations is very proud of the fact that we recycle more e-waste every year than we create. You can drop off any old or broken computer equipment to our service centers at any time, free of cost. We only charge $15 just for monitors because they are especially difficult to process. No appointment is required, and we accept all computer-related equipment like printers, keyboards, speakers, and accessories. Additionally, the rare earth elements in computers can be recycled right here in the U.S. to reduce our reliance on supplies from foreign countries. Take a moment, drop off your old computer equipment today, and Schrock will make sure it's properly recycled and put to good use right here in the U.S. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Drive Advisor is a free program from Schrock Innovations that monitors your hard drive's health and tells you if it's going bad. Download it for free at driveadvisor.com.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Our listeners on Facebook at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations have asked me to turn up the volume. So we have turned up the volume. Now, when I talk normally like this, the volume is fine, but if I get excited, then the volume pegs out a little bit. So that's why I didn't have it up louder, but hopefully it's okay now. All right, number to join us on the program, 888-250-2091. So should you upgrade to Windows 11? Is this something that you should do? Most computer users, as we talked about, don't even know this is happening. So it's not uncommon for you to be, at the grocery store, you're picking things off the shelf, putting it in the cart, and you say, Betty, did you know Windows 11 is coming out in 2 days? And Betty's like, what's a Windows 11? And, Betty has no idea. So your friends may not even know this is happening. And so the first thing is let everybody know that when these pop-ups come up on their screen, they are legitimate. They are asking you to install a whole new operating system, and there are some preparatory things you should do to a computer before you try to install a whole new operating system. So don't just click yes and think everything is going to be okay, because 5 times out of 10 on something like this, it's not okay. And so, for example, should you do this if you're at work? Here's question 1. Should you do this if you're a business? And the answer is no, you shouldn't. Yes, the additional security is awesome. Yes, the new interface is awesome. If you're a business, it is not recommended you do this now. Why is that? When I say a business, I'm talking about businesses that use virtualization. So in other words, if you have a server and people can sit down at any workstation in your business and log in, you should not do this. We're not recommending for our corporate clients that they do Windows 11 if they're running a virtualized environment. Why is that? Most of your virtualized environments are not compatible with Windows 11 because they don't meet the security requirements for virtualized workstations. So in English, what this means is we all know we have physical computers at home. And our physical computers have to have a processor, and they have to have memory, and those things have to meet the minimum system requirements for Windows 11, which are quite strict. Well, when you spin up a virtual machine, that's like taking your computer and partitioning it into 5 computers, and each partition gets 1/5 of the computer's resources. Each partition has to have the recommended amount of memory and access to the full processor. So that's not how virtual machines are set up right now in most cases. And that means it's not going to be compatible. So the problem you're going to have as a business is this is going to require a huge infrastructure investment. You're going to have to buy new equipment for the rack is what this amounts to. New servers, things like that. It's not going to be a cheap process. So in the short run, I would recommend that you stay on Windows 10 until that fleshes out for the virtualized environment. Now for consumers, should you upgrade to Windows 11? Should you upgrade to Windows 11 if you are a home user on a computer, using your computer to pay the bills, getting on the Facebooks once in a while, checking out the internets? Is this something that you should do? The answer is yes. This is something, if your computer can run it, this is something you should do. Now, I've seen the interface for Windows 11, and it's pretty slick. It's a little bit different, but it's not radically different. You still have a start menu. Your start menu is centered on the bottom of the screen now. It's a dock, kind of like on a Mac where the icons come from the center of the screen, and eventually they can spread out to cover the whole bottom of the screen, but they start from the center and they move out. It's a neat look. It's pretty slick. There are some small changes. If you have multiple computers and you're logged into a Microsoft account, your wallpaper won't follow you around anymore. Silly little things like that. But for the most part, the security advantages of Windows 11 by far outpace any issues you might have in upgrading. In Windows 11, the odds that the Windows 11 is going to basically obsolete every existing virus out there overnight. Now, of course, virus writers, be writing viruses. That's what they do. And they're going to make new ones that'll work on Windows 11. But this is, from that security perspective alone, huge. Sophos, completely compatible with Windows 11. When you upgrade, your Sophos protection will continue to protect you in the new environment, giving you another layer of security. One of the requirements for Windows 11 is that you have to have your Trusted Platform Module turned on, your TPM module turned on. FTPM, if you have an AMD processor, that's in the BIOS. That has to be turned on. You also have to have your safe computing modules in the BIOS turned on. What does that mean? I can't take your hard drive, snag it from your computer, and boot another computer off of it. If I try to do that, it just doesn't work. So that allows Microsoft to properly lock access to your files and restrict them with a password. There's so many security advantages to doing this. When you recycle your computers, for example, there are so many people just throw them outside on the curb, or I want to pull the hard drive out and drive some nails through it, or whatever. Now with solid state drives, you got to make sure you drive the nail in the right spot because you might miss the circuit board entirely. It's like a flash drive in there in this great big box of air, and then you're driving nails through it like a weirdo, and you're not hitting anything. So you got to be careful with the nails, all right, and the saws and the drills. We've seen it all. So Windows 11 is going to be a huge security improvement. Graphically, it's a huge improvement. From a capability of what the operating system is going to be able to do, you won't be able to do this on day one, but you will be able to, very shortly after release, to run Android apps on your Windows 11 computer. That means you can get your Ring Video Doorbell app to run. You can get your WiseCam app to run. You can get any games that you have on your Android phone that you want to play on your computer. Now you can do that because it has a built-in emulator. There's all kinds of cool little things like that Windows 11 brings to the table. The question that we have that we want to drill home for our users, though, when you make the upgrade, how do you make the upgrade safely? How do you make sure that you're not one of the 30-40% of users who are going to install this update and either have it roll back because it's not going to work, or try to roll back and get stuck in Never Never Land where you're not running Windows 10 and you're not running Windows 11. You're not really running anything because nothing turns on anymore because you're stuck somewhere in the middle. That's one of the biggest threats that happens to people. Because don't worry, if you try Windows 11 and you don't like it, you can roll back. What happens if your rollback fails? What do you do then? So we're going to answer those questions for you, plus take your calls at 888-250-2091. Also, we got some Mac news to get to because I know we've been talking about Windows a lot, and we don't want to make our Apple users the redheaded stepchildren around here. So we're going to tell you all about the updates coming out for iOS that you should install on your phone, as well as the update that just came out for BigSur coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations has spent nearly 2 decades working to make your technology life easier, and the all-new SchrockInnovations.com is no exception. Now you can order new modular computers and solid-state laptops directly from our website, secure your computer with our virus-free guaranteed semantic endpoint software, find innovative new technologies like our modular storage devices, and get free help and tips. Take a look at the special section to find sales on one-of-a-kind items, display models, refurbished units, and our latest special offers. Swing by the Compute This page to watch TV segments and archived radio shows, or even get one-on-one help through the Schrock Desk. As always, we respect your privacy, so we secure our website with the latest encryption technology and only the most secure payment methods. You can pick up your purchases at any of our 3 service centers or have them shipped directly to your door. The new SchrockInnovations.com makes technology simple. It's what we do. Compute This Pro Tip 843. Of all computer failures, the scariest and most expensive is the hard drive. But there are some steps you can take to save money and save your data before it's too late. Detecting failures early is important, so install a free utility like Drive Advisor from driveadvisor.com to monitor your hard drive's health and receive warnings when there's a problem. But most of all, hard drive failures happen slowly, so early detection is key to reducing the repair bill. Second, if your hard drive makes any unusual noises, immediately turn off your computer and do not turn it on again. These issues are physical problems, and the more you try to use it, the worse the damage becomes. Remember that most computer repair shops do not have the specialized equipment needed to recover data from a failed drive. Never open your drive or allow anyone else to do so. Opened drives always cost more to recover. Schrock does not charge for data recovery evaluations and quotes, so let the local pros look at your drive before you make any recovery decisions. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News, I'm Steve Rappaport. President Biden working with lawmakers this weekend to jumpstart his economic agenda.
The president is convinced that his economic agenda is going to get through Congress. But at issue here is two different bills. One, you have that bipartisan infrastructure agreement that Republicans, for the most part, are going to support. But then you also have this much larger social safety net bill with moderate Democrats saying that they do not want to spend the massive amount of money that progressives want to spend.
Fox's Mark Meredith. Authorities investigating an oil spill from a rig off the California coast.
It's estimated some 3,000 barrels of crude oil spilled from the rig about 3 miles off the California coast. The spill, covering 13 square miles, has closed down several beaches in Orange County, and people are urged to stay out of the water. Cleanup contractors have been mobilized.
Fox's Jackie Ibanez. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
Very pleasant air has moved in behind all the gloomy weather that we've seen over the last several days. So today we'll see a lot of sunshine, 77 your afternoon high with relatively low humidity, 50 overnight and into early Monday morning, 77 mostly sunny skies for Monday, 76 and mostly sunny for Tuesday. With Omaha's most accurate forecast, I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist Clay Osterley.
Alrighty, guys, I can't believe it's already halftime. The show's half gone, and I feel like I've just been talking the whole time. I mean, have you guys feel the same way? You know, welcome back in. I appreciate you guys listening to Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. One of the core fundamental things that this company was founded on was helping people when they need help with their computers with the small things. Answering the easy questions, making sure we put helping customers and helping people first. That way, when you have a bigger problem, when you have something more serious, you know you have some place you can go that you can trust to give you the correct options that you have. And that's the situation we're in now. Everybody out there that we've helped out with a free hour of labor, everybody who's called into the radio program, everybody who's sent me an email or sent the shops an email asking a question or done the 2-minute phone call into the service center to get quick help. All those things were done so that right now I would have the opportunity to tell you that on October 5th, you are going to have a decision to make with your computer if it is Windows 11 compatible. How do you know if your computer is Windows 11 compatible? Unfortunately, it's not a super easy thing for most consumers to figure out, but what I can tell you is if your computer is more than 2 years old, it's probably not compatible, unfortunately. There are some Schrock builds that are 2 years old that are compatible, but the majority of them are not. Unfortunately, Microsoft was incredibly restrictive on the hardware requirements for Windows 11 because that's what had to happen to get the security levels where they want them to be. So with that said, we have been selling a lot of computers over the last month at Schrock. So if you're looking for an excuse to buy a new computer, this is an outstanding excuse. And as a mark of the times, I literally had an email last week from a caller or from a listener to the program who said, I'm ready to come in and buy a Galant laptop. Will you please let me know what the wait time is to get one? Mark of the times, right? Well, the wait time is however long it takes us to check you out at the front counter because they're in stock in all the service centers. Which I know that's not the case everywhere you go to shop. But we know Windows 11 is coming. So we have processors in stock in the service centers. For those of you who have modular computers who are not compatible, many times we can just change one chip in your computer and you're compatible. It's that easy, because it's modular. Unfortunately, if you have an HP or a Dell or something like that, you can't really do that. If you have an Intel-based computer, you can't really do that. But on the modular computers that we build at Schrock, they're so upgradable that we can change out those chips and make you upgradable to Windows 11 without having to buy a whole new computer. So that's the good news there. If it's more than 2 years old, it's probably not compatible. If it is not compatible, then you should pick up a copy of Safe Upgrade on our website at SchrockInnovations.com. You click on Shop and Specials, and you can buy it right there. It's a do-it-yourself upgrade kit at home for you to install the upgrade for Windows 10 that's expected to come out at the end of October at home on your own. And if something goes sideways and you need help, you can always bring it in, and it's just $30 extra. It's the bench price, basically, for us to get it all installed for you. But right now, we are going to be doing a lot of Windows 11 upgrades in the Service Center. So if you want us to handle your upgrade for you, we're going to have a special on this, guys. Normally, it's 2 hours of labor to install an operating system and drivers. Windows 11 especially, because we have to go into the BIOS and change a bunch of settings, change the way your computer boots, change the way your hard drive is handled, get all that stuff put together. Then we can get Windows 11 installed. Then we can test everything to make sure everything is working right before we send it back out the door to you. Normally, that's 2 hours of labor, so that's $240. We're going to be doing 50% off for a really limited time for people who come in early to get this done. So it will only be 1 hour of labor. It'll save you $120 to come in next week at Schrock to have, or I should say next week, this week, to come in after the 5th and have this done on your computer in the Service Center. Why would you want to have it done in the Service Center? Number one, you have options for a backup. Many of you have backups already. You have file history backups that are backing up copies of all of your files to secondary hard drives, especially if you have a safe and stored backup system, like on a Schrock modular computer, or maybe you have an external hard drive or something you've picked up in the past. Maybe we've done it. Maybe you've done it. You've got a backup. You're like, I have a backup. I have carbonite. Everything's fine. Everything is not fine, because if you upgrade and it fails and you can't roll back, you have to reinstall Windows 10 from scratch. And if you have to reinstall Windows 10 from scratch, your programs are gone. You have all the keys. That's always a pleasant situation to go through. You have to log into everything again. Do you know your passwords? We had a horrible situation in Papillion this week where this poor woman hasn't had to log into anything for a decade because everything was saved on the computer by her grandkids. And now she's got a new computer, and we're like, no, we need to log in to install your stuff. And she's like, I don't know the passwords. So we could do a password reset. She doesn't know how to text message. And so they're sending phone requests and, two-factor, and it's going to somebody's phone, but she doesn't know whose phone number it is, and no one's calling us and telling us the codes. It can be a lot of problems. So we're going to have an option for you in the Service Center where we can back up an image of your hard drive before the upgrade. The backup image is something that will allow us to restore your computer exactly the way it was before we started, should something go sideways. Now, we can do that backup image for you, and then we throw it away after the upgrade is complete. We save them for 48 hours. And then after, in case you go home and you're like, something's wrong, and we can go back. But after 48 hours, we don't have room to keep that many backups around, guys, so we just throw them away. We delete them, and then we move on. Or you can have us set up a backup on your computer. Once we've done everything, we can leave the backup on your computer so that you have it forever, and then it'll continue to back up after that. So there's all kinds of different options that we have to do it right in the Service Center. The guys in our shops know what they're doing. Well, I made sure they all got a fun night out. We closed early yesterday in the Service Centers at 4 o'clock. I apologize if that was inconvenient for anyone. My guys have been really, there were 3 people down, guys, and they're just been killing themselves for the last few weeks. They needed a night to blow off some steam. So we went to Vallis. We went to the pumpkin patch. We had some fun. We rode the train. We shot the apple cannons. We did the things that you're supposed to do at the pumpkin patch. And now we're ready to get back in there and get ready for Windows 11. And so I really wanted to make sure they had some time. So we gave them some time to relax a little bit, bring their wives and stuff out so they could have some family time, and put in some FaceTime with me because I don't get to see them all as often as I'd like to. So anyway, long story short here, guys, Windows 11 is coming on the 5th. Your computer may be compatible with it, and if it is, you definitely want to upgrade to it. If you want us to find out if your computer is compatible, come on in for the special. Drop your computer off. If your computer is not compatible, we're not going to charge you anything for checking it. We're not going to say, oh, yeah, it's an hour of labor for us just to put it on the bench and tell you it's not compatible. that's not cool. We're not going to do that. 888-250-2091. Kathy, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
I was wondering, Shock, you mentioned all of the things going on with Windows 11, but when should we run the safe update? Because I'm not compatible with 11.
Gotcha.
Are we going to get a message on that?
Oh, yes, ma'am. As always, we will send Facebook messages. We will send emails. We will send phone calls. I may even put up a smoke signal. We'll set up the Schrock bat signal in the sky. It's to tell you it's time to run your Windows 10 safe upgrade. In fact, our system tracks who has run it and who hasn't. And so we keep reminding people who don't run it. And they're like, Thor, I'm on vacation. I'll get it done when I get back, okay? We're like, okay, we just wanted to make sure. So, yeah, we will definitely get a hold of you. The challenge that we have is Microsoft doesn't tell us or anybody the day they're going to release these updates. Now, the Windows 10 upgrades usually happen toward the end of the month. They usually happen on a Wednesday or a Thursday. They rarely happen on a Monday, Tuesday, or Friday. And they don't happen on the weekends. So that leaves pretty much Wednesday, Thursday. And so they'll happen sometime midweek, usually around 7 in the evening, which is super convenient for a company that closes at 8 o'clock at night. But we're going to make sure you know about it when it's time. Now, if you try to run Safe Upgrade right now on your computer, you'll get a message that says it's not time yet. So if you're ever worried, did I not hear? Did I miss it? You can try to run the Safe Upgrade program that you downloaded from your Schrock account, and if it's time to go, it will go. And if it's not time, it'll say it's not time yet. And then that's one quick way that you can check on your own.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you for the call, Kathy. I appreciate you taking the time to join us on the program today. 888-250-2091. Speaking of updates, Apple has released iOS 15.0.1 for the iPhone. This is specifically for the iPhone 13. There were some issues with the near field unlock feature that basically allows you to unlock your phone with an Apple Watch, for example, because you might be wearing a face mask, so it can't do facial recognition. That was not working, and it was requiring people to put in their passcodes over and over and over and over, and people really were getting annoyed with that. So Apple fixed that problem. There was a couple other minor bug fixes, nothing super duper major. But if you see an alert to install 15.0.1, that is a legitimate alert. There are no reported issues with the update yet. It would be my recommendation you go ahead and install that update. Also, Apple has launched an update or released an update called a device support update for Mac OS BigSur. BigSur is a version of the Windows 10 of the OS 10 operating system that runs on your Mac, basically. Now, what is a device support update? This is a 200 megabyte update. So in the world of updates, it's pretty small. It doesn't fix anything, but rather it most likely adds support for new devices such as the iPhone 13 and the iPad mini for your Mac. So these new devices basically have to teach the Mac operating system how to handle these new Apple devices that have never been seen before. And so if you haven't already been prompted to download these things and you've got a new iPhone 13 or a Mac mini, you might want to install this update to make sure that your Mac computer is completely compatible in your ecosystem at home. To do that, you can click on System Preferences and Software Update. You click on the Apple up there. Go to Software Update, check for updates, and if there is an update available for your device, it'll pop up there, and you can say Install Now. 888-250-2091. We're going to take our final break of the program, but when we come back, Gene, you stay there on the line. Your call is coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations Data Recovery Lab saves the data the other guys can't. The next time your hard drive, camera card, or flash drive fails, let Schrock get your data back. Some people like desktops for their power and upgradability, but nothing rivals a laptop for computing on the go. But why should you have to sacrifice performance for portability? The innovators at Schrock want our customers to have it all, so we created a new kind of laptop, the solid-state laptop from Schrock Innovations. Solid-state laptops are built using the same frame and mainboards as regular laptops, but we've removed half of the moving parts while more than doubling the computer's speed. The result? Laptops that boot to Windows in 6 seconds or less, respond instantly to your commands, and can survive drops that put most laptops into the data recovery lab. Starting at only $499, solid-state laptops give you speed, reliability, durability, and performance for the same price most people pay for a cheap disposable laptop. The next time you're looking for a laptop, check out the solid-state laptops at SchrockInnovations.com or visit any of our service centers. Simple, solid, fast technology is what we do at Schrock. Compute This Pro Tip 578. Technology is constantly changing, so how can you tell when the time has come to recycle your old outdated computer and invest in a new one? Experts have rules of thumb and formulas, but Schrock believes the answer is simple. You should replace your old computer when it can no longer do the things you need in a secure way. For example, you should not be using operating systems like Windows XP or Vista because they're no longer maintained by Microsoft and they're not secure. And if your computer cannot run Windows 10, it's probably time to begin saving for a replacement. If your existing computer requires a repair and that cost is 50% or more of the cost of a new computer, it might be time to consider a replacement. But keep in mind, additional costs like data transfers and important software you have to upgrade like genealogy software or Quicken. And also keep in mind that modern computers are engineered to last 18 months for a normal user. And don't worry, you are considered a normal user. Schrock modular PCs and solid-state laptops are specifically designed to last 4 to 6 years for that same normal user, saving your family money and time. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Always fun times here on Compute This. All right. I was getting the briefing, the pre-intro briefing. We have 3 callers. We have 7.94 minutes. And I said, fun times. Let's do it. 888-250-2091. From Facebook, Randy writes, Parker told me that my laptop is compatible with an i7 chip, or my i7 laptop is compatible with Windows 11. I'm on the fence about buying safe upgrade for Windows 10 just in case something changes. How do I feel about this option? Okay, so here's the thing. Wait to do Windows 11 first. If you're on the fence, if you're thinking you're going to do Windows 11 and you're like, should I buy a safe upgrade just in case? There's 172 of them left. I'm pretty sure we're going to have some left on Wednesday, okay? So wait, do the Windows 11 thing first. If for some reason you are not satisfied with Windows 11 and you don't want to stay with Windows 11, or it doesn't work on your computer and you end up back on Windows 10, at that point, buy a safe upgrade. Because I don't like taking money from people for things that they're not going to need. And if you're not going to need a Windows 10 safe upgrade because you moved to Windows 11, well, then don't buy a Windows 10 safe upgrade. But I can tell you that like hundreds of people have already because they're stuck in Windows 10. They can't get out unless they buy a new computer, and they don't want to buy a new computer right now. So, Randy, yep, that's my answer for you, is to make sure that you do Windows 11 first. And then if something doesn't go the way you like, then we can get you back to Windows 10 and make sure you're updated safely all the way through 2025. Thank you for that question. It's a great question. If any of you have any questions about Windows 11, feel free to call out to any of the service centers. We're always here to help. Des Moines is closed today on Sunday, but all the other shops are open Sunday from noon to 5. Also, we're open the other 6 days of the week from 10 in the morning until 8 in the evening, 6 in the evening in Des Moines. 888-250-2091. Gene, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This?
Hey, great show, Schrock. Appreciate
Thank you.
your advice every week. Hey, I get a CD from a government agency every month.
Ooh.
And I pop it into my Windows 10 device, and it acts like it's a brand new disk. It wants to rewrite over it. If I go to another Windows 10 device, computer that I have access to, it will read it as it will see the files on that CD. So there must be some setting somewhere on my laptop that says pop in the CD and it treat it like a new disk or something along those lines. Does that make any sense?
It does. There's a few possibilities here. Now, whenever I hear this problem, the first thing I always go to is somebody probably didn't close the disk. So when you write files to a disk, there's 2 different ways you can burn it. And if you burn it a certain way and you don't close the session, then that disk can't be opened on any other computer. But that's not what's happening here, because you can open it on some computers and not other computers. On your laptop, can you put other disks in the disk drive and they work just fine?
You know, honestly, I can't recall the last other disk I put in there.
Okay, so
I have put other disks in there and they worked. So I think the drive does work.
Right. That was my next question. Is this will happen on drives that are not reading disks properly? So if there's a problem, and sometimes with burnt disks especially, they're a little more fragile than like a pressed disc that you would professionally buy. So that would be my next concern is, then this is easily tested. If you stop into a service center someday when it's convenient for you, bring that secret squirrel disc with you, and then that government secret squirrel stuff. Bring that in with you, and then we'll just hook up one of our external DVD drives, like one of the USB ones. And then if it reads on that one, but it doesn't read on the internal one, then it's pretty straightforward. There's something wrong with the internal drive. If it doesn't read on either of them, well, then we know there isn't really a setting in the computer that says treat all disks like they're blank. That isn't a setting, an option. So if the drive is not, if it's not reading the disk, there's 99% chance there's something wrong with the drive or something wrong with the disk. Now, some drives are more tolerant of scratches and smudges and things than other drives are. So it's possible that's why it's reading on one computer and not the other. But normally it wouldn't come up as a blank disk. It would just sit and blink and think forever. And then it would say that there's, that it can't be read, and that's, to come up and say it's a blank disk, you want to burn something to it. That leads me to believe there's probably something going sideways with that DVD drive.
Okay. Okay. And if you're in the service center at that time, I'll show you what I get.
Ooh. Are you sure? I don't want to get you in trouble. They tend to incarcerate people for indeterminate amount of time, these days. So I don't want to get you in any kind of trouble.
As long as you don't copy it, I'm good.
Oh, there we go. Always the details. All right. Thank you very much for the call, Gene. I appreciate you joining us on the program. Tracy, welcome to the show. How can I help you on Compute This today?
Well, good morning. I listen to you guys every day, and I love you.
Well, thank you.
I have an iPhone 7, and I signed up for Indeed a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And I'm getting back job feeds from, like, Nauvoo and, all sorts of weird stuff. Now I have 19 viruses on my phone since I've been signed up for Indeed. Was wondering if I can get the viruses off of there myself, or do I need to take my phone into Sprint?
Okay, so quick question. Why do you believe you have 19 viruses? What has led you to that?
Because it told me.
Okay, this is a perfect segue. Now, I know you have an iPhone, but people on Android are having similar situations. There's some password stealing malware floating around on Android phones right now where people get a text message that says you're infected with FluBot, and you have to click this link to get the removal tool to fix your phone. And people are like, oh, no, I don't want the FluBot, so they click the link. What does the link do? It infects your phone with FluBot. And so they're just tricking people into clicking these links because it's telling them they're infected when they're actually not. So the first question that we always have for someone, especially on an iPhone, that comes in and says, I'm infected with 19 viruses, how do you know? Because if you're relying on there is no program on the phone that natively tells you from Sprint or T-Mobile now.
Right, I got the text.
Okay, so don't trust the text message, first of all. The text message is probably fake.
I haven't touched anything.
Yeah, don't click any links. Don't do anything like that. Now, the next thing is we have an antivirus product that is available for your iPhone called Sophos. And it's available for Android.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's called Sophos. It's like a sofa, but with an OS on the end. Sophos.
Okay.
And Sophos is amazing because it's machine learning, artificial intelligent antivirus software that doesn't have to scan every file on your device every week to keep you safe. It watches everything that happens in real time to detect stuff that looks like a virus or that's acting like a virus, and then it stops that, checks into what's going on, and if everything clears, then it's okay, and if it doesn't, then it stops it, but it checks your apps, it does all that stuff. So if you're running Sophos on your device and you get a text message saying you have 19 viruses, then there aren't 19 viruses that I know of that are currently exploiting iPhones, by the way. So I don't think there are actually 19 different circulating viruses right now for iPhone that are unpatched. So I don't think it's probable that you have 19. I think it's fake. But Sophos at least would give you the surety of knowing that it's fake, and you could just disregard that message because Sophos is keeping you safe. Additionally, if you would accidentally get tricked and click on a link like that, Sophos is going to stop your phone from going to that site or getting infected with whatever the nastiness is. But my guess is this is one of these text messages that these guys don't know you have an iPhone, and they're sending it out to random phone numbers, and you just happen to get this message that Android users are getting right now, and saying that they're infected with something. And when they click the link, that's what actually takes them to the site to get them infected. And that is an exploit.
Right, and it says we have a job you might be interested in.
Yep, that's where the identity theft comes in. So when you fill out the application, you're giving the hackers all your personal identification. That's not Indeed. Yeah, that's not Indeed. So definitely bring that into the service center, Tracy. Let us take a look at that and see if we can get you straightened out. I'm pretty sure we can get you secure again there. Thank you very much for the call. Jason, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This?
Good morning, Thor. Just
Morning.
wondering if Microsoft is including a new DirectX with Windows 11.
That's a great question. I have not seen a new one. Let me check. Windows 11 DirectX. I don't think there's a new one coming. I haven't heard anything about it yet. No, everything is still 11 right now, and there's 12 Ultimate for Windows 10/11 PC. That's from Minitool. That's weird. DirectX 12 doesn't work on Windows 11Y. Oh, it's not supported. It's supported by OpenGL. So yeah, it looks like again, you're back to hardware requirements. So it looks like there's not a new version of Windows 11. I'm just reading the headlines here, so don't read too much into my stream of consciousness here. But softwareok.com says there might be an issue. I'm not sure that I specifically trust softwareok.com to make important decisions about my computer. Especially, let's see, Windows 11. DirectX 12 is not supported. DirectX 12 Ultimate will not work either. Fortunately, there are still games that do not require DirectX 12 and are simply based on OpenGL. But it could also be that you installed the wrong driver, or Windows 11 doesn't recognize your graphics card correctly, which would be bad. And it looks like there are options. Number one, get DirectX 12 up and running on Windows 11. Here's how to do it. So it looks like there are solutions and there are drivers that are being released that are going to be updated for this. So I wouldn't worry too much about it, but this is one of the reasons why if you upgrade to Windows 11, you have a 30-day rollback window. That if you don't like it, you can go back to Windows 10, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Thanks.
All right. Thanks for the call, Jason. I appreciate it. And Brian, I've got 30 seconds. How can I help you on Compute This today?
I think it's a 30-second question for you, so
All right.
that worked out pretty well. Back in maybe July, I ended up buying a new laptop from you guys.
Yeah.
And so that's still going to need the Windows 11 upgrade then, right?
Which laptop did you buy?
I think it was. I just remember the price. I think it was like $699.
Okay, so if it was
the mid-range one.
Yeah, the $700, the mid-range one. We did once Microsoft released the specifications for Windows 10. We changed that model. So there's a sticker on the palm rest of your laptop. If it starts with an A, like A12, A10, A8, then it's not going to be compatible. Okay. If it starts with an I, like an i3 or a Ryzen sticker, then it will be compatible.
Okay.
And we'll check it for free for you. Just let us know, and we can take a look and figure that out for you.
All right. Sounds great.
All right. Thank you for the call, Brian. I appreciate it. Today's winner, $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. One lucky caller is Gene. Congratulations, Gene. We'll get that out to you here on Monday. Stay tuned for the Aftershock, guys, and we will see you in the service centers this week for Windows 11.
From the Amish Furniture of Nebraska studio, your home for made in the USA furniture.